The Studi is a beauty that is different by design.
Hey everyone, Kyle here again at the Studebaker National Museum, joining you on a beautiful November day. I would say we're venturing out of the museum, but we're here inside at the museum, but again talking about some of the local Studebaker sites, landmarks, and buildings in and around South Bend, Indiana. Now this will be our last video in the Built to Last series, but as a reminder, all the places that we have visited in this video series are places and locations that you can visit as well as part of the Studebaker-Bendix Heritage Trail. So make sure to go to our website, studebakermuseum.org, and find that downloadable guide. Okay? So again, we can't go out to the proving ground today. Our first attempt was thwarted by thunderstorms a few weeks ago, but we have this really great model of the proving grounds, sort of an aerial model that will, I think, help us kind of visualize some of these locations. So today it is called the Navistar Proving Ground. It is out along State Road 2 near neighboring New Carlisle, Indiana, just a few miles west of South Bend. Now many of you might know this is the site of the original Studebaker Proving Ground. And this was one of the first controlled automotive testing facilities in the United States. Now, the 850-acre site was constructed in 1926, so almost 100 years ago. And Studebaker heavily promoted this site as a sort of $1 million outdoor testing laboratory, right? So new cars would be kind of put through their paces out at this large outdoor proving ground. So you can imagine really anything a car would be subjected to, from climbing roads with various grades to traversing deep water, to safety tests where cars were subjected to head-on collisions, rolled down hills, crashed into each other, all sorts of high-speed maneuvers. All of these things were done sort of in the name of collecting data to make a better product. So it was, also used to test military vehicles for a time in the 1940s. So following Studebaker's closure in South Bend, the land was acquired by the Bendix Corporation. So this, you can see it says Bosch. So in 1996, Bosch purchased the property, which then in turn sold it to the Navistar Corporation, an international branded truck and diesel engine manufacturer, in 2015. So this is from the Bosch Era. So you can see some of those things that we talked about here on this sort of overhead shot. All right. So from the air, you can actually see a large tree sign that spells out Studebaker to this day. That's part of the sort of county park systems. So again, you can walk through those trees, and you might not notice anything from the ground, but from the air, it does spell out Studebaker. The original clubhouse is also there. And the surrounding parkland, again, called Bendix Woods, are operated by the County Parks Department. And then Navistar continues to operate the proving ground today, including the 3-mile track, the garages, and all the surrounding testing grounds. So there are two other unique features that are worth noting. First, if you were to drive down State Road 2 today, you'd see several dozen, I think 30-something, sort of brick fence posts, 34 posts. That line the property along the road. Now originally these posts held these toppers shaped like the famous Studebaker turning wheel logo. We have one here in the museum collection. So they're no longer on those posts. They've been removed over time, so we're fortunate to have one here in the collection. We also have a large hubcap from an oversized 1931 Studebaker President 4 Seasons Roadster. This was a 41-foot long, 14-foot high, 5.5-ton wooden model that was used, again, as a sort of promotional tool and sat near the entrance to the proving ground for many years before it was sort of intentionally destroyed, burned at the end of its sort of useful life. So at almost 100 years old, this site has a very long, rich history, and I'm so glad we got to share it with you today. But please, anytime you're out on State Road 2, stop by Bendix Woods, take a walk around. It's a beautiful park, and remember the history that all happened there. All right, so thanks again for joining me for this series. We hope to see you here at the museum soon.
Different by design.